517 to scanner control. 517 to scanner control.
This is the Star Wars Squadrons podcast. I'm your host, Time Bomb here. This week with me, I have got one of the best console controller players in Star Wars Squadrons from Orange Squadron. Nathan, buddy, thank you for being on the team. On the team.
Thanks,
Thank you for being on the team, but thank you for being on the podcast today.
thanks for having me in both.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Thank you for being on Orange Squadron, man. You honestly, Chip, you being on Orange Squadron definitely, I feel like, just helped us get so much better. I'll say that first and foremost. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
on
man.
The team.
Yeah, lately we've been able to play like daily too. Like you and me pretty much are the dedicated daily players, and everyone else kind of comes as they can. So it's nice to have that going, and you've just been killing it since I'm trying to think when I first met you. I think was that night that we did that. I did a multi-stream with like Anger Bang and yeah.
Stuff. Yes. Jordan, wasn't that Jordan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few other streamers who don't play as much as they did then, and I just remember right away. I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's." I remember just the thing. Well, this guy knows how to how to get picks for sure. How did you find out about Star Wars Squadrons first?
I follow all Star Wars stuff, so like the second is a Star Wars game, like I buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it pre-ordered so I could get the extra helmets, but they suck.
So what you had been playing all like the Star Wars games that had come out before, but were you playing what is it? I always mess up. Battlefront?
Yeah, so I think I have about 50 Star Wars games. I think 43 was my last count, including this one.
Oh my god.
So like since I was little, like Star Wars is my thing. I have like Star Wars Starfighter, which is terrible, but I wanted to play it, and Jedi Starfighter. I have fond memories of this game, but I recognize now arbitrarily they are awful.
So you came in more from as like a Star Wars fan since you grew up and playing the Star Wars games on console the whole time. Did you ever play any like PC Star Wars games from back in the day, like some of the other, you know, members of the community has?
I've played a Star Wars game around my friends, but that was I can't remember what it was called, but it was horrible. And I played it for about 20 minutes and I was done. But I've always had PlayStations growing up, so I had like I think my first one was Jedi Power Battles, which is the time Phantom Menace came around, because it's and I've got Masters of Terrascasi, and then the Phantom Menace game, and then Bombard Pod Racing.
Yeah, you had mentioned too, because just being like a fan of Star Wars too, that you have like a big Lego collection of Star Wars stuff too, right?
Yeah, I have about 50 sets.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. That's so cool though. Like yeah, do you have them? How many do you have like set up at a time on display or anything like that?
I have about 40 of them set up. Like I've got like my apartment's quite big, and then I have some on my dining room table because I don't use it to food. I use it as a Lego display.
That's amazing. Your kids must love that too, seeing all those Star Wars Legos.
Oh yeah, I've got about 30 sets that are missing pieces that I need to find out where to go, and when I get to that.
Well, that's because all the Star Wars pieces are the best. So
absolutely,
Squadrons came out. You knew about it. You're playing. Had you played the Starfighter Assault game? Like, did you know what I mean? Did you feel like
yes. I mean, I played that a couple of times, but I used to play with my two friends who are also quite big Star Wars fans, and they weren't too they weren't too keen on it. So we'd play like I can't remember the game mode where you could be like 40 on 40, and some of you are in spaceships, some of you on the ground. So I would just go get a couple of kills and get into a spaceship, and whenever they were like in trouble, I'd just launch torpedoes at the ground wherever they were near where they were, because there's no friendly fire to help them out.
It sounds like a great. Honestly, that sounds amazing. Actually, I'd love to play a game like that with Star Wars. That sounds sweet. Actually, what game was that? That was really cool. Mixed mode, mixed formats of a game. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So then you had some friends who played Squadrons with you after that when the game launched.
Yeah. In Operation 1 and 2, we used to always be together. Well, we weren't very good at that point, and I sort of worked out the game, whereas my friends, I think they were more into Battlefront because it's a bit more arcadey, and they didn't like how complicated And obviously the matchmaking at the start, we got consistently stomped.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first game was against Deathwatch, and then my second game was as well.
In fleet
So,
battles? Yeah.
yeah, it
Did
was
you
not a good experience.
did you do the story mode first? Were you kind of jumping online into
Oh,
multiplayer quick?
I always play the story mode. Any Star Wars story, I want to know what's happening, so I was straight on that. I played it like easy, medium, hard, and then the hardest mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went online and got stomped and went back to campaign for a week, and then decided to give it another go.
So it did take you a couple weeks then before you were really playing online.
Yeah, consistently. Like I only used to play with my friends, but they kind of got a bit sick of the game because they just didn't get it, like the mechanics and the chaining the boosts. So
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't for them.
I had the pretty much identical experience, but I feel like almost at an accelerated pace because it was like literally within a week of the game coming out, like the 5 or the 6 guys I got it with, half of them didn't play it, and then within a month, all of them didn't play it. So they dropped off quickly. I had to go to I enjoyed the game a lot. I really liked it. I thought it was a different game than I was kind of used to, and I thought it was fun. So I had to go to the Discords right away to like start playing with people. So I kind of had a bet. I didn't really have the terrible matchmaking experience like solo queuing.
Yeah.
I was stacked. Basically, when you went in at that point early, everyone was kind of there. Like I met people from like all of the teams that are competitive now would all basically just go and stack up there. It was like before Gray really took off, people would just randomly kind of stack up in the Star Wars Squadron Discord. How did
Oh,
you? Yeah, it was kind of like the precursor, but then there was I don't even remember, some drama there, so then people couldn't be on that Discord, so then they moved on to, I don't know. That kind of like broke things up, and then there was 50 Discords of all the teams kind of started off. How did you find your way from being just like a solo queue person then onto Discord?
Well, at first, like I was trying to find people to play with because I realized being in a team must have so many advantages. I went on the Facebook page and thought, yikes, this place is horrible. Everybody's like terrible to each other. This is not my one. I looked on Reddit and I saw one of those Wingman Wednesday, and I just clicked the first link, which happened to be TFA, and I didn't even have Discord until then, so I thought I need to download this app. Went to TFA, and then I found some people there, but I didn't have like the right synergy with a lot of people. I made some good friends, and there were great people there. And then what's the YouTuber? Meaty Yogurt. So he was streaming one day, and I came up against him, and I think I piled I racked up like a lot of kills against these guys. And they're like, "Do you want to come play?" And they added me to their Discord, which is where I met Darkblade.
Nice.
Who was the one who pulled me into Orange, and then I just made friends from there.
Right, yeah, and I think because you kind of got into the competitive scene a little bit there. I can't remember if you ever got to play with Media and their team, but I know you played with you said you kind of got pulled into a Cavern Angels one for one Cal Cup early, I think it was as well,
Yeah,
maybe.
so I ran into Gold solo queue, which is not the best experience, but they said you flew well. Come jump on our Discord, and like occasionally they let me fly with them when they when they have space. Like they're really cool guys, and I wasn't on a team for this is the second Cal Cup. And then CA Blue was just like, oh, we need players. And I think Floop asked me to come. Like, we haven't got any PK. Do you want to come in? Like, yeah. Like we formed like about 20 minutes before we had to register. We got through the first brackets, so that's all we wanted to do, and we did quite well. And then from there on, we just got steamrolled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing it goes. But you started to get that sort of competitive experience, and I think somewhere in there we were like, yeah, Nathan, come join Orange. The one thing I wanted to talk to about the Discord thing too is because I actually, it was funny, just before we were like talking about how you use Discord, and I kind of got my mind blown a little bit because I always used it with earbuds underneath my gaming headset, and I guess I just assumed you did it that way too. But how exactly are you doing it?
Earbuds. I can't hear my TV very well, so I just have you on loudspeaker. Like you're on loudspeaker now on my iPhone. I don't have my PC. My laptop doesn't work, and I can't bother to buy a new one because I don't need it at the moment. So like I play PS4 on my TV and then Discord on my phone, and it is buggy as hell on the phone.
Yeah, the phone is the worst experience for Discord audio. Maybe that's the reason why it didn't take off in like Zoom stuff or something like that, because it's not as stable in that way. But on the PC and on the, if you can play it on your laptop, it goes a lot smoother that way. That is the only difference, I would say. But I mean, you make it
It
work,
might.
obviously, like having the TV playing it with the sound that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't like the game without music and sound, so I
Mm-hmm.
have to have it on. Plus, the only issue is sometimes like I'll be talking and nobody's acknowledging me, and they're like, "Oh wait, it's bugged out again. I need to restart Discord."
That's the only downside to it on the, and it rarely happens in actual games. You probably don't have it on that low power mode like you had said actually in those situations, so it doesn't happen in real games. But yeah, occasionally it does happen. Sometimes like when we're talking about stuff for a long time in between games, you'll just like, we haven't heard Nathan for a while. Where you at, buddy? I get, so that's the
Yeah,
one.
that was like last week. It was quite a sweaty game we were in. I was like, "Someone resupply me? Anyone?" Okay, they can't hear me.
Yeah, you don't get no resupplies for you in this situation. But I think that's the biggest thing too for a lot of console players are missing out on, is because the majority, like I said, I went early to Discord so that I could, and I met all these people. The majority of the like competitive, the this higher level players is on Discord, so it's really important, I think, for people to get on the Discord to meet up with these Discord players too, so that these you learn a lot more from those people, so that it just would be better for the
Yeah.
console players to mix.
Yeah, that was like the big issue my friends had when they quit the game, is they weren't. I mean, they wanted to play for fun, not competitively.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm competitive by nature, so they didn't have time to learn all the tricks of the boost. They just want to shoot people, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm. So, when you look at the Reddits, when you see on the Facebooks, when you find out a little bit about this game, you see people complaining about the advantages that PC players have, right? Obviously, they talk about the multi-drift and, the advanced power management and the shield skipping. People think that they can't compete with these things, but here you are on controller console and you have like a one average death right now.
It's 0.85 at the moment, so like, just a lot of it is like mental. So like, yeah, it kind of sucks we can't do these things, but like, I wouldn't turn into Fenkar if I had advanced power management. Like, that's not why Fenkar's good. Fenkar's good because he learned how to do it. Advanced power management, like a lot of people say, it's 95% efficiency. So like, if I'm working suboptimally and I can keep up with most people, like that 5% probably isn't all that. And then you have, I mean, shield skipping would be nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just don't get shot. Just
Well,
dodge. Like, learn to
yeah.
evade. Like, I think people who rely on the crutch, like people who relied on dead drift in Operation 1
Mm-hmm.
and Operation 2 were very killable.
Yeah. I mean, myself, when dead drifting was patched, I was like, I remember being like, oh shit, I gotta roll and stuff to be I had to be like, oh, I have to go evasive different ways now. Like it just like definitely like I was using that as a crutch for sure. Just knowing that was all I needed to do. That's all I did.
Yeah. I didn't learn about dead drifting till the day it was patched. So I was like, oh my god, I've just missed out on so much. But
and also because like we're saying, this divide between console and like almost PC or Discord players, the knowledge doesn't get passed from one to the other, even if it is put on Reddit or whatever. People don't truly understand, I think, even how.
Plus the amount of trolls on Reddit and Facebook and just unpleasantness puts people like. I only read it because it's funny half the time, but like I wouldn't put anything sincere on either because troll posts.
There's a lot. I mean, yeah, I get it here and there. I try to let it, I get it sometimes when when people on my posts there, because I post a lot to the Facebook and the Reddit, but I try to let it roll off my back for the most part. But sometimes it does, like, I'm like, oh, it hurt a little bit. You gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt because, yeah, you're right. It is Reddit. So when it comes to just like actually playing on the controller, do you have any thoughts about using the basic power management that you think that are important? Maybe people are missing out. What have you done? What did you do? How do you practice? Like I feel like you even have a routine.
Yeah, so like I saw boost skipping was the first thing that really changed the game for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw someone do it, and Scott Walker, he uses basic power management,
Mm-hmm.
and he's an insanely good player. So like, I was like, if he can do it, I can do it, no problem. That is my sort of mentality to it. So I went when I wanted to learn something. I just went into dogfights where it didn't really matter too much, and I just practiced for like a few hours until I got the muscle memory,
Mm-hmm.
and then like, you can gasp and boost skip without really thinking about it or
Mm-hmm.
concentrating too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've got it's all muscle memory. Once muscle memory is there, you can add in crazy like barrel rolls, loop de loops, whatever you want to do, and still maintain your boost. Like the secret is just having plenty of boost when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Same with all your powers, having
Yeah.
shields when you need it, having lasers when just about power management. And if, like Fenkar said, if it's 95% efficiency, that's almost all of it. And nobody's perfect with power management. So I don't think if I could suddenly have advanced power management, I don't think it'd make that much difference.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit for field skipping.
Yeah,
but
I mean, and drifting, maybe. I mean, yeah, and the defender is probably not going to change the game that much. Do you feel limited by your ship choices, but at all because of that? Like, do you feel like if you have to be in a
not really.
defender or anything, or any priority there?
Theoretically, it'd be easier for me on Empire and a TIE fighter because there's only two systems.
Yeah.
I haven't learned support very well. I'm terrible, but I don't really care because I don't want to play support.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's the only ship I really think multi-drifting makes that much difference. Like in support, but
Yeah.
I don't want to play support. So that if I was a support player, maybe I'd be frustrated. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it to honestly, like, just looking at it, I just don't know if it's worth playing support on console. That sounds terrible. Like console controller, I just don't know if it can be done. I mean, I tried to do it for a while and I said I quit it, right? Like I ran from the role just because of the way the game kind of came along. It became very about the support player staying in very deep and drifting around, and honestly, without multi-drift in a support ship, that's very difficult to do. Without shield skipping, even it seems almost impossible to do, because that's like the biggest thing I find that support players are using to stay alive. Maybe you disagree.
Oh, this scrambler shield combo.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is what it is. Like a lot of people on console are really sour about shield skipping, multi drifting. So should they be in the game? Probably not. Are they in the game? Yeah. So like, I can either get angry about it or I can just learn to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided just I like the game regardless of these things. So I'm just gonna like. There's ways to kill support players, and everybody's doing it. So it's not like it's uneven.
Mm-hmm.
And I can kill most support players if I really try. Like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
few that are really painful to kill, but they're not just painful to kill because I'm on a console. They're just painful to kill because they're painful to kill. Like,
Yeah,
shooting ham in Angels is not a fun experience.
I don't forget about it. Hitting him with a stray laser has more chance than actually going for him for me. I do wonder. So all year too, you've been doing. You've been playing PK. You went from like the A wing to like the X wing and defender now. What are your thoughts on like PK as it's gone throughout the year? How have you felt about it?
So in Operation 1, I would rack up kill after kill after kill. Operation 2, it suddenly became so much harder and a little bit ridiculous. Some of that was the dead drifting, and some of that was just that people got better at evading once they learned to maintain their boost. And I think it was the boost nerf that completely killed the A-wing for me. It just didn't have the punch I wanted. I know there are some really good A-wings,
Mm-hmm.
but second I realized that I was dunking people a little bit earlier before it really caught on.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I could start getting rid of people out, especially defenders who didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah.
But I can't take a missile on an A-wing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the defender at first, I was so stoked because that's my favorite ship in lore. I was like, this is going to be great when it comes out. And I picked it up, took it out in a game. Like, this ship is horrible to fly. I hate it. I'm never going to play it again. And I just went straight back to the TIE Interceptor. I hated the defender. So I saw like, I was the lucky fifth, and Gas were in their Smurfs, and I saw these 4 TIE defenders just fly off against this stack that was kicking my ass all the time.
Mhm.
I was like, oh crap, because I wasn't paying much attention because I was kind of a bit down about I was about to get beaten up for like the third time in a row. I didn't pick my ship. I was like, oh, I'm in a TIE fighter. I'm gonna go back in and get an interceptor. I came back out and like this this account called TIE Defender had racked up 5 kills. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Later, someone told me that was gas, and like that was just. I was like, oh, okay, that maybe the ship is good. And I sat in dogfights for about 8 hours till I worked out how to fly it.
That's kind of I kind of feel that's the thing in this game. Anytime I'm lacking in some area, I really just need to focus on it. Usually I do it in customs or something like that. Maybe do custom dogfights and just spend like a bunch of time like that, just learning it. That's like seems like the biggest thing in this game is just spending the time on the. And I guess it's not just spending the time; it's spending the time on learning the right way to play. Because people do get lost playing incorrectly, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like I like to play like in the daytime. We play for a bit of fun, grind a bit of rank, and then like most of our practice in Orange Squadron is customs.
Yeah,
and it makes a difference because like our bombers have gone from I can drop them within about 3 seconds to oh my god, I'm having to work for these skills now. Like
yeah, it makes a huge difference.
And that's like the difference between like just before SCL we were getting stomped consistently. We're actually like taking games off people. Like we took a game off in the Cal Cup off Fracture, which was huge for us.
It really is. Yeah, I think it shows the growth there. I'm curious when it comes to console controller. Do you think the Defender is like the best ship to mitigate that, like whatever 5% difference?
I don't know because I don't play. I mean, in theory, it would be like a TIE fighter because you can just shunt charge.
I do. You know what? Yeah. I mean, I had someone say that to me the other day that they don't think console players can shunt charge. I was like, no, I was like, no. That's the one thing they have. That is like, that is their pathway to pinballing at the highest level.
Yeah, so I didn't think I could at first because the way your standard controller is setting out, like before you remap, is you have to hold square, which interrupts your drift. It will stop your drift dead. So you've actually got to change it to tap and double tap because if not, you'll be dead drifting. You'll push square and it'll stop you dead.
Yeah.
To change system. So I was like, oh, I can't shunt charge until I just happened to. I think Chicken Mojo told me like just change it to tap and double tap, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, I just have so much energy now.
Yeah, I actually like to have it on my D-pad down is where I have it.
I have mine like really basic. Like I didn't change that much from the original. I got rid of free lock because I accidentally turn it on sometimes, and it was horrible. Put boost on the trigger, and then just change like shield movement and shunting to tap and double tap.
Yeah.
So that it's quicker as well. I mean, like the first week it was horrible because I'd shunt the wrong way and put my shields the wrong way. Once I got it in my head exactly where to put everything, there was no problem at all.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. It was more focusing shields that is weird than to me. I'm like, wait, which way is double tap? Which way is, that thing?
Yeah, I can't even remember off the top, but I just remember it from muscle if I pick up my controller.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, one tap is backwards, 2 taps is forwards, hold is
balance. The other thing that I do too is I like having. So I have 2 actually. My down and my X button are both the same because I use controller remapping to do it. So I can alternate those buttons to get out of disables by using those. It maximizes, so it keeps me as quick as the whoever's like it makes me be able to get out of the disables as fast as the PC players when I do it that way.
That's really neat. I cannot do that, unfortunately, but
I know that's the only. I'm trying to think of any way to do it. You can't really do it on a basic mapping because you can't double in buttons; they replace.
I mean, like, I don't get dunked too often, and if I do, I just spam X, and I usually get out of it. So.
Yeah, that's so true. The only way that it helps right now is in the ties, the fighters or bombers, because if I get dunked in a Y-wing, it's about shield skipping. It's not about, you know what I mean? It just like, you can tank it in those, whereas like I need to be very evasive afterwards in those ships.
Yeah, I mean, like stuff like that, there's counters to it. So I worked out like everybody takes ray shields and they will shield skip after a dunk with the reinforced Y-wing. So I'm just going to take a concussion missile, and that 9 times out of 10 just gets the killing blow, and Y-wing still dies. So like you've got to be a bit more creative, but I feel like that's made me slightly better because I don't rely on anything. I just have to work out how to counter. So like, I'm working on support players that are terribly hard to hit, but they're always going to be terribly hard to hit. So like, that is just what it is. Like they're like, you can watch like other teams find them frustrating to shoot at as well. Like it's because they're super good, not because because everybody says exploit this, exploit that. Are they bugs? Yeah, but like if everybody can use them, like you can't be angry at someone for multi-drifting if you dead drift. That's not meant to be in the game either.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to make that argument when everyone's pretty much doing that same thing. And like you're saying, you're on a console. Do you think it would be possible to put together 5 console players?
I can think like Fame playing from Baywatch. He's an incredibly good support, and he is not he cannot multi drift. So just back to our point, and he's very good.
Maybe
Brain from
oh, okay. So here, let's do it. Like, we should stack. I could do Bomber, maybe with Tie Bomber. I could do for sure. We get you, Bird Brain. Maybe pull Chuko out of retirement, find out where he is, and there we go. We got a 5 stack. Yeah,
there's AJ. Like, there's really good console players out there. Like, when that console league came out, I was like, oh, I'm gonna zero throttle and just exploit the crap out of what I can, just to show that we can do everything just as well as anyone else. Like, it sort of faded like I thought it would, but I didn't think a console only league was the right thing. I think we should all like play together and work together.
I think so. I just think it would be interesting as a demonstration to try to do a really like a 5 stack of consoles competing against, you know what I mean, as a demo almost. That would be kind of interesting to showcase, like, oh hey, look, maybe these 2 sides can actually play head to head, and it's not about that. It's just about being the best at the mechanics of the game. Yeah,
I mean, like, we can definitely get all like 5 of us together. We'll just go into ladder one day and just
see if we can do it. Launch the old 601 time bomb account. That one with all the rank or whatever, all the levels.
Oh, that's a fun point. This is actually my second account on here because my first account was called Death Stab.
Right.
One day I got signed out of EA. Like the EA servers went down, so I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll just play it tomorrow. Next day couldn't log in. I was like, okay, maybe they're still down. Next day couldn't log in. I was like, messaged EA and they're like, that's a problem. I was like, I know there's a problem. And they said, we'll fix it soon. 2 weeks later, they still hadn't fixed it. 3 weeks later, they hadn't fixed it. So I just like, fuck it, I'm making a new account. Which is where this one came, and it was just a generic PSN that came up. So it's like, yeah, I'll take that's why my name is NAT067HAN.
That's right. Yeah, you get the NAT067HAN from Fenkar and all the casting stuff. Which was funny when I was... But then he randomly does call you Nathan, like, in-game, I noticed, when I was going through and looking at it, which kind of made me laugh, so he is intentionally... I didn't realize it was intentionally not Han.
It must be intentional. It's so funny. Like, yeah, like, there's absolutely no reason to play, like, be on console and think you can't get good. Like, I've played, like, especially when there was, like, in the heyday of this game, like, Operation 2 and 3, like, Scout was on stream, pop into a chat, say, hey, what's up? He's like, yeah, come play. And like, the best way to play the game is to play with people better than you and against people better than you. That's why we like set up scrims against teams like IG, Cabin Angels. We did our Splinter, but they were unavailable. Like,
well, yeah,
you'll never stomp a team until you get stomped by a team. So,
and yeah, people hate that. Like, honestly, some people just hate that, right? Like, that's not why they play video games. But I mean, that's what I love. I love being not good at something and then learning to be better at it. Like, that progression of stuff is actually what I enjoy about video games. And you kind of gotta be bad to get good. You're better off to actually play the right way, badly, and lose, learn, and get good that way. Because if you just play bad and are doing okay, you'll do fine, but you'll never get better.
I remember, like, Operation 2, I ran into Rancor, like, with some friends, and we got destroyed. And I was like, my friends like, we can't play like that, it's impossible. And then, like, at the stage now, it's like, yeah, we're in the same ballpark as these. Like, they just learned the game, and now we've learned the game, and now it's just about learning and practicing. Like, Rancor are a great squad, no doubt, but we can be just as good. That's, like, you just got to keep your, like, where you want to go. So, do I want to be able to like next Cal Cup, we said we want to take some games off some big teams,
Mhm.
like really surprise people. That's the goal. Maybe we'll get really far, like top 8. We can do it if we practice. Same like any team.
And you know what? The thing that I like though now too is you see teams like like Typhoon. You know, they're a team which is like totally kind of coming up right now, and you know people, you see them now as like, you know, a team who's like could be in that next level. They made like a top 12 on the last Cal Cup event, made the cut, right? Like they're a team who's definitely on that level, so it's great. That's what I love seeing new teams come up. So it's possible they just have to like take the lumps a little bit to learn. Like, yo, shout out New Republic, another team does all the competitive events still. They're playing too. They're in there, right? Like there's teams who are doing it, right? Like they're maybe not making the cut yet, but they could if they just keep at it, or like playing the right way.
Yeah, like the best example was Kevin Angels Gold, who like just sudden like the reason they got so good is because they 5-stack and play as a team and practice. Everybody learns what they need to do, and then like they're taking games off of Splinter. They won a Cal Cup.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Gideon Cup. Like they're a really good team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
That's
don't.
the practice.
What do you see in the future for like, you know, squadrons here moving forward in the game in the next bit? Like for the future, what would you like to see in a future squadrons game is really my question.
I think Squadrons will last longer than people say. I think after the comps are all finished up, and we say if there's no more sponsors, a lot of the comp teams will go. But then the more casual player base, and then you have the people that just love the game, because we haven't got an alternative to this game.
No,
Because like there's a world of difference between the arcade systems in Battlefront. So you'll have people like X-Wings versus TIE Fighter. People were playing that for years after they said it was dead, because there was no alternative and they loved the game. Squadrons 2, I would like advanced power management just to be something that anybody can have, like without having to map stuff.
I do think the issue there, they didn't foresee how important the power management would be, so its placement is a little, ill-conceived in some ways. But they couldn't realize, like the boost button, they couldn't realize. They set it up more for like thinking like a first-person shooter translating over, which totally works with that way.
Yeah, I just like the little bugs that they found throughout the game. Find like what caused them, like shot tethering issues, fix all the little problems, and the game's amazing. Like, I'm not gonna say take multi-drifting out, because that's like, it would be nice if it like, in
a future game, they should definitely not have something like that. Or if it was an actual thing that's supposed to be there, then I mean anything that is in there should be available for everyone to use, right? Like that's the only thing with it.
Maybe also, I'd like it to stay roughly like it not to be like TTK time to kill is high.
Yeah,
because you've either got to have instant time to kills and load like constant PK games, but like it takes 26 seconds to respawn. So a casual player is going to spend most of their game in the hangar.
Yeah,
that's not good experience. So TTK needs to be actually how it is. I like the game.
I do too. I can't believe people want to return to that at all. It baffles me. They just, because they think they're the killers. They're going to be the killers, but they're not. Not everyone can be that, right? It's going to be this. It's like you're saying. It's 26 seconds till you're back out there. I hated November.
I'd like auxiliary, like bombing auxiliaries, to do more to like frigates and cap ships to die less to lasers, and you need to use like clever bombing runs, stuff like that. Just be cool.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess you could beefy your shields. Beefy your shields, I guess, that for that reason.
Beefier shields. I would probably downplay shields if it was me, and downplay lasers and downplay hulls.
Yeah.
And make auxiliary like proton bombs, proton torps worth so much more. So like there is more pressure on you to stop the bombers, but there's also more. But if you get that bombing run off, you've done a good job. Like got good damage.
Yeah.
Because you remember in Operation 1 where on Yavin, SLEs, the flagships were broadside. I haven't seen that since. Like since everybody learned how to play the game, that there's no time from the broadside. Like, funny to me actually, because my friend was like, he came on and played the game the other day, and he was like, yeah, like, I love it when the flagships turn on SLEs. It's like, oh wait, I forgot that actually happened. Like we haven't seen that in so long. Like, I guess when But
I don't even know I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Actually, I'm trying to think of this.
So, Operation what? If forget, this is back when we had like 30-minute long game.
Yeah.
The Star Destroyer goes sideways, so broadsides the MC-75. They turn.
Oh yeah, because it used to be like, I guess you'd be like, we gotta take out this shield gen first because it's so hard to get out of the other one or whatever, right? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's right.
That's the way. And same, like that was the. I have to try and remember which way they turn because a couple of them turn different ways.
That's right. I
and
totally
then
forgot about that.
that's the way shield gen. Whereas I'm kind of glad the 30-minute games aren't a thing because a 30-minute game where you still lose sucks. Whereas if you lose in 10 minutes, it's kind of like, whatever.
Oh my goodness, especially because like I had the worst experiences where like we'd get stomped twice in a row by Deathwatch. Then we like, okay, you know what? We're not gonna search now. We'd search, we wouldn't find a game. Search, timeout, wouldn't find a game. Deathwatch would come out of their game. We'd be searching again. We'd get Deathwatch again. So we would have spent 3 hours playing Deathwatch 3 times, all lost. It was the worst experience, I feel like. I would much rather get MR Annoying Orange Nathan Pinballer last name. That's Wang Bites comment right there.
Like just like the main part of the game is to try and enjoy it, and you can enjoy it in whatever way you feel like. So when people say like when you go into a dogfight, like you can't shoot these people, they're new to the game. It's like, where's a dogfight? What am I supposed to do? Like just like I came like usually if I go into a dog fight, it's because I'm playing by myself and I had a bad day and I just want to shoot someone.
Yeah.
So like that's like not even personal. It's a dog fight. Same with fleet battles. Like when people say like learn to play the game and have fun with it. I got destroyed at the start. I got the hang of it. It's how it is. Like obviously, if you purposefully don't finish an MC-75 to buff your KD, that's not cool. But like if someone's in the way of the shield gen, you need them out the way. Like level 5, level 500, like you need to kill them. That is the game.
Yeah, I just say, that's always been my thing. It's just like just play the game. Don't worry about it too much, right? Like just play the game. I mean, you don't have to go Don't go out of your way to like pad your KD. I mean, when it comes to dogfights too, like I've honestly played so little dogfights. I mean, I played tons off the start. Like for the first month, that's all I played. I didn't even touch fleet battles because I felt like fleet battles was this scary place. There was rank. I felt like it mattered. It was the competitive mode, whereas dogfights just felt like this casual thing. You drop in. No one really cared, right? Like it was kind of fun. It was fun to play them. I don't know. It was much better that way, but sorry, go ahead.
Like, just as long as you're having fun, just do what you want to do. Like that's the main thing of the game. I know some people wanted to do the whole no multi-drift league or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't think this is the game they want to play. It sounds like I appreciate it, but like I get it, but it sounds like they would rather play XVT.
Yeah, it
which
does.
like it's not this game. Whereas a lot of people thought this game would be another XVT, but like the drifting functions are just like what makes this game unique, and it stops that horrible turn fight that we used to get in Operation 1 before we don't have the drift well. Like when you're trying to tail someone, they start turning, and then you start turning, and you're just circling each other, and nothing happens.
And people didn't really understand how to use the boost to like break it and draw free. It was a lot of like turreting bombers too for that reason.
Oh my god.
The old days. It's pretty funny.
I miss that. I miss flying it, but I don't miss shooting it. 4K bomber.
I mean, it kind of feels that way now because the bomber. I mean, it reminds me of it now, but the bomber is so strong in the solo queue against a lot of people, unless you have like any lower level people in there just don't know what to do against like A-wings. Most A-wings in fleet battles just do not know what to do against a bomber. It's hilarious actually just to watch them try and joust. You feel bad. You're like, I have to kill you now because you're annoying me.
Yeah, like when they take the joust, like even when I'm going in OBJ heavy, I cannot resist an A-wing joust when they come flying at me. Like I can't help myself; they have to pop. I don't know. It's because they were like A-wings were terrors in the first 2 ops with their overloaded shields and just how powerful they were.
The double
then-
rockets.
Now they're just a leaf on the wind, I guess. Like nothing. But I like the game state a lot. Could it be better? Yeah, sure. But like, considering we got no dev support, like, and there's ways of having fun customs. Like you can play the game how you want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is other people will play the game how they want to play the game. So if you're going into ranked, the rules that you have decided are right aren't someone else's rules, which is what upsets a lot of people.
I mean, that's just how competitive kind of goes, though, too, right? Like, people have this, like, personal rule set. They're like, this code, they're like, this is my code. And it's like, oh, they're breaking my code. That's cheap, or something. I remember that's what people used to always say. That's cheap.
Yeah. But I mean, things I don't like in the game, but, like, I don't hold it against... Like, I don't like multi-drifting, but I don't hold it against people that multi-drift because it's available to them, and it helps.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd probably do it if I could. Like,
Yeah, of course. I mean, I guess I haven't set it up, but I would, I guess, if I was so lazy or had so many issues with it.
Yeah, there's lots of little things you can do to make the game like enjoyable for yourself. Like, play against people that are better than you, get destroyed, work out what they do differently to you, and like, if you're solo queuing and you're with a bunch of level 5s, you're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get mad at them because they don't know how to play. Like, especially when they're really new, it's like their second or first fleet battle. Like, oh, this guy's got average 17 deaths. It's gonna be horrible. Of course he does.
Oh, another thing that
Like,
you do.
we all did in Operation 1. But we all did in Operation 1.
Another thing that you do is you watch, players that are, you're like, hey, this player's killing it. What are they doing? You'll watch their stream to actually see how they're playing and things they'll do. And a lot of times you'll kind of report back. You're like, I was checking it out, and they were doing this or that.
Yeah, like I like to know. So like Avenger 1, I took his J hook because I thought that's a really good maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Gal, I got the boost skipping and just generally how he moves around the field, shunt charging. And then I watched Hod for how, because the way he dunks people is incredible. Like he's already it's hard to describe. It's like he's already assumed he's got the dunked, and he started drifting to get those on target. Where I've had this bad habit of making sure they're dunked, and then watching them just drift straight past me.
Right.
So I've started putting that into practice now. Like, if you want to be able to do something, just watch someone who can already do it and work out what they're doing, or ask them. Like, there's loads of cool people in this community. If you go, how do I do this? And like this. Like, oh, awesome.
Well, everyone, is super open to that. And, I know that you've streamed a little bit. That's definitely something that you should definitely get into doing more. Where can people check out your streams and everything?
I'm on Twitch. Send you the link in a second.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description below your Twitch. But it's pretty much is it the Death Stab one?
No, it's NAT067.
Oh, okay.
That's my PS name.
Yeah, so his known name in the game as well. So we'll put that in the description there.
Yeah, and like, the best thing you can do when you get the game is like find people that are good, and then find people, regardless of how good they are, you like playing with. Like the orange lineup right now, like it's just fun all the time. Even if we have a bad game, we're having fun, and like we take the piss out of each other, but we also help each other out. Like,
yeah, definitely, we're a good crew. Orange Squadron. Yeah, I'm glad. I like everything that we built there on this Discord and this team. It's a good time for sure.
Yeah, like Fenkar said, we're a wholesome group.
We try. We have fun. All right, I think that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much everything. Nathan, man, thank you so much for doing this podcast. I'm trying to do this for a bit. Glad we could get it done.
Yeah, sure, anytime.
All right, and thank you everybody for checking out the stream here and the podcast. We'll check you out next time.
517
Squadron
Scanner
Podcast.
Control. 517